Today we're looking at some of the hottest selling Easter decorations right this very minute. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to go look at some of the most expensive Easter decorations out there. We're going to show you what to look for and show you what is selling for some phenomenal prices right now. Obviously, the most collected items are related to the Easter Bunny itself. Here's a very fine example of a German candy container. Most of the big German candy containers were in the shape of an animal. These were very expensive back then. They would have went to expensive households, folks with a lot of money. The head comes off, and inside of these, there would be loaded candy all the way through them. This was a gift. It was something that the parents would buy for the child. Now, you could buy the rabbit itself, and then you'd stuff it with candy, or you could obviously buy it pre-stuffed as well. These are legitimate sales. These are big, large items, some cases almost 2 feet across, larger than life in many cases as well. This one did go for $4,850, 24 bids. The position the rabbit is in doesn't matter as well. There's tons of different variations on the very same rabbit. Some positions, whether they're standing or sitting, can be worth more than others because they don't show up as much as other ones. This one has 42 bids, $3,626. A seated rabbit, same exact basic thing. Now here's one sitting up. So again, each position varies by price in many cases because there may have been more than another type made. One other thing that I always look for in these are glass eyes. If they have glass eyes, it's old original paper mache, they will be worth more. Glass eyes are one of the biggest deciding factors. Most all of the German ones that were made, say, before 1930-ish are going to have glass eyes. All the original vintage originals. Now, in some cases, the color of the rabbit's fur could matter as well. There's brown rabbits and white rabbits. If it's a white rabbit, what you want is red eyes. The red eyes seem to be the ones that sell the most. Very interesting, very unique item, $810. Obviously, it's a little rough looking. The fur is not quite groomed very well. It's kind of in an odd position also. But again, it's still there. It's still usable. It's still a nice display piece. Toys, of course, are extremely well sought after. The German makers are some of the highest priced and well collected ones you will find. This is a very, very nice one. It's a large one for this sort of thing. Many of the toys were counter sized, so you could sit them on a counter, but some you will run into that are very large, 12, 15 inches tall. Some of them will move and rotate and do functions also. They may have clockwork mechanisms in some of them. This one went for $864. Anthropomorphic items can be found for Easter as well, and they're highly collected. Anthropomorphic means basically an animal acting like a human, doing some trait, doing a function, a job, dressing like a person, like this rabbit here. Real nice, interesting piece. These are well made. Most of them would be handmade. Most of these are German. Majority of the ones that I run into do have a single black stamp with the word Germany on the bottom of most of them. They aren't going to have it. You just have to be able to tell the difference from those based on the construction, the age, and how it is painted as well. $1,250 on this fine example, 17 bids. Doesn't even have to be a rabbit at all. Here's a duck. I've seen almost every animal you can imagine made into a candy container for one holiday or another. Again, Germany as well. Dressed animals, anthropomorphic without a doubt. You can see how the head moves off to, again, the body of these items would be filled with candy. So would the head in many cases. These are mostly handmade, but they are made in a factory, so there was an assembly line basis. So certain people would make heads and cones and the body and the clothing, and then they'd be put together like on an assembly line back in the day. Germany, if you are not aware, was the center of paper production. They did all the fine, fabulous paper. Cards, greetings, all sorts of things were made in Dresden, as well as other areas, Bavaria, in Germany as well. Easter eggs, another staple of any Easter collector's collection. These are fine, fabulous papier-mâché items, German, probably Victorian era, 1890s or so. Now, many of these are hand-painted, but this one does look to be a mass-produced piece with printed decorations on the outside. Either way, just fabulous. Now, there would be an Easter tree in some cultures, so you will see some with strings that could be hung just like you would a Christmas ornament. Many of them are the same basic principle. total. $2,938, 65 bids. Anthropomorphic moon and sun, just a really fine example. This is my sort of thing here. I love the Victorian era. I love these anthropomorphic images. Now, some had dual purposes. Some had candy on one half with like a little miniature diorama or figure on the other. Some of them were not made for candy, and some don't even open up at all. They're just literally for a tree or decorations on their own. This is a little later one. This probably in the, say, 1910-15 era, right before the war. $394.95. Early, without a doubt, excellent condition, more anthropomorphic imagery on the face. These sorts of images you can find in decorations from the same time frame for Easter or even on postcards. Now, Radco is a name that most everybody associates with Christmas, but Radco makes stuff for all sorts of holidays. Some of the Halloween pieces they make are just fabulous. This here is a cookie jar by Radco. This is Easter Dapper Lady. These can go for some crazy money, as you see here. $2,325, 13 bids. Now, there's many of these sold, so this isn't some one-off crazy price or anything like that. Now, prices on these sorts of things go up a couple months before Easter. Most people will want this well in advance so they can actually use it for Easter. Here's another Radco piece, just to give you another example. It's another cookie jar or centerpiece, whichever route you may go. It still has all the whimsicalness to it like Radco is known for. $700. 31 bids, not some one-off buy it now or something like that. Rushton's another one of those names that makes seasonal or just toys in general. Rushton made Easter bunny items like this adorable one here. Most of the Rushton rabbits go for some good money. Far outweighs some of the prices I see on some of the teddy bears or other animals. This is tied to Easter. It's a holiday piece, basically. This was probably sold in department stores for Easter ahead of the season. Just another item to push to market it towards their buyers. Now, this is Cherished Teddies, and this is by Nesco. This isn't a popular brand, so to speak, but there are some items that are fairly scarce. I do believe this may be some sort of promotional item from Easter seals or something like that. These always go for hundreds of dollars. Now, I've seen dozens and dozens of these sell for at least $350. Bottom end line price is usually what I see in that range. They are hot right now. Price has gone up very steadily over the past few years. Most of the other Cherished Teddy items don't do this well at all. Now, here's a decoration, a 5 and dime candy store item also. You could eat the candy, get rid of the container, and you'd have a little toy with it at the end of the day. Now, this is marked Rosbro. Rosbro is Rosin Brothers, which is the same company. They went by a couple different names, and they marked their items several different ways. $500 on this one. This one would probably say Rosbro literally printed on the bottom somewhere, stamped into the plastic. Many of the Rosin Brother pieces will not be marked, though. They all have the same look, the same feel, the same sound when you tap them. It's that specific type of plastic that they use. You will be able to tell. It's hard plastic. It's not like modern-day plastic at all. And I couldn't talk about Easter collectibles without talking about chocolate molds. Chocolate molds of the Easter Bunny or anything related to holiday in general can sell for some excellent money. This one went for just a hair under $500. You would pour melted chocolate into it, slosh it around, and you could actually make a hollow chocolate Easter Bunny. This is how they did them back then. Some had inserts that you could insert into them. You'd just fill it up, you'd pull the insert out, and you'd have a hollow one that way as well. They all sell for some good money. Even modern day ones of these can still sell for $50, $100 because people will use them, especially when they're large. This is a 20-inch tall one. Excellent, interesting, anthropomorphic. It's a rabbit. He's carrying a basket on his back, and he has a coat on as well. Easter items in general do extremely well, especially this time of year. Well, there you have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
apricot, and hops a lot.
Oh, my. Have you come to share my new strawberry shortcake cereal? Indubitably. That's very nice. It's such a pretty strawberry pink, and its crispy strawberry taste is a very good part of this nutritious breakfast.
That's right. It even smells like strawberries.
Outstanding!
New strawberry shortcake cereal.
It's very delicious.